Hello and welcome to this video. My name is Smári. In this one we are going to look at a checkmate with a king and a rook versus a lone king. So here is a picture that will show you where this checkmate will happen. It will happen on the edge of the board, shown in red color. Alright, so here we have our first example. The black king has been checkmated already by the white rook, and notice the position of the white king opposite the black king. That's also very important. The white king prevents the black king from escaping to the 7th rank. So d7, e7 and f7 are all attacked by the white king, and that's why black cannot move his king out of the check to the 7th rank. And the rook then covers all of the important squares on the 8th rank. Another example here on the h file. So black now is checkmating the white king on h3, and notice how the black king is opposite the white king with one square between them. The black king covers all of the important squares on the g file, thus making it impossible for white to escape out of this check. So normally you want to have your king opposite the opponent's king when you do this, but here is an example of when you don't need to do that. The black king is now in the corner. Now the white king could be on c8, it would be the same checkmate, but also on c7 he attacks b8 and b7, so preventing the black king from escaping to the b file. And now over to you. It is black to move and do checkmate in one move with the rook mate. So obviously the rook will move somewhere and do a check. There are two possible checks. One of them is checkmate, the other one is not. So what do you think it is? The answer is rook d1 checkmate. The rook checks along the 1st rank and the black king covers the 2nd rank squares g2 and h2. So checkmate. Incorrect would have been rook h2, since that is only a check and not a checkmate. So white can simply move his king out of the check and the game continues. But rook d1 checkmate. Alright. White to move and do a rook mate. White checkmates in one move. What will it be? The answer is rook to a1 checkmate. So notice how the rook checks along the a file and the white king covers the b file squares b4, b5 and b6. So checkmate. And again, rook b5 would not be checkmate, since now black can move his king to either a4 or to a6. So rook a1 checkmate. And finally, white to move and do another rook mate. So notice how the black king is on h8, we have a king on h6, and we have a rook. Where will this rook go? Actually, there's only one check, so that will be the checkmate. Rook a8 checkmate. And incidentally, if it had been black's turn to move, things would have been very different, because then black would have had the move h1 promotes to queen with check. And if white takes this queen with his rook, then there is another pawn that will take and promote at the same time, and then black would have been winning. So therefore, if you have a checkmate, do it before your opponent has a chance to do something that will come back to haunt you. But this is a short video about what I call the rook mate, where the opponent's king is already on the edge of the board. In the next video, however, we're going to look at how to force that king to the edge when he's not on the edge. Then there are two different techniques that we are going to learn for how to force the king to the edge so that we can do the rook mate. But I thank you very much for watching this short video, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.